Soca Monarch. Today we have with us MJ Byron, who will help us reflect on the spectacular Sugar Mass 50 Soca Monarch competition. Welcome, MJ.
Thank you.
I like the fact that you're a regular now.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Soca Monarch competition. Can you tell us about the history? When did it start?
All right, Soca Monarch in Sync, it started just a few years ago. We're talking about just over 10 years ago, to highlight this different genre of music in the Federation. We know we had popular genres, reggae, dancehall, so this was an effort to highlight that aspect of our culture. I mean, our culture is a Caribbean culture, and we just was missing that little piece of it. So we had to introduce that, I'm sure, and we are grateful to the organizers, whoever came up with, infusing this part of the culture into Sugar Mass.
All right, 10 years later, looking back on it, do you think that it has achieved the initial intent?
Definitely. We have grown, I've grown in St. Kitts tremendously. If you go back to the videos, I was doing that this morning, going back to the first video we had with Congress Maynard in the park, doing, walk away and then take the oath and all those things. And you'd be like, yo, music in itself, the music, the production of this show has grown tremendously. And we must be happy for that as a people.
I mean, Take the Oath was still on.
Yeah.
It was still on that kind of level.
Yes.
It was really, really, really good. So tell us about the competition. It's broken into two segments.
Yes, we have Groovy and Power. Groovy, like its namesake, it's just a nice groove to it, a slower version of the Soca, which is a more popular version. It has been a more popular version for the last couple of years, even in the region. I guess persons was like, you get more music out of it, that kind of vibes. So persons gravitated to that genre, that speed, so to speak, more. But so Power Soca was the origin of the whole Soca Monarch thing. You had Mashup Antenna with extremely high performances, and that kind of broke away the Soca fraternity in the region. So it was good for us to, I know one year we had merged the category, and that didn't work out pretty well for Soca lovers. So I was happy that we were able to go back to the split and produce two excellent segments. We had two excellent song choices. It was amazing this year. If you were watching, or even if you were there in person, I was like, yo, Soca is back.
Yes.
How many participants were there this year? I read a little bit from the beginning that we had, former monarchs competing. How many participants this year?
Right. So this year we started registration with 50 persons.
50?
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Do we normally have that many
Normally
people?
30, high 40. But this year persons like
50
they were
for 50?
waiting. Yeah. Coincidentally, at the stop of the time, 4 o'clock on that morning, or that afternoon, sorry, I was like, yo, 50 persons, what a coincidence.
Yes.
What do you think accounted for that?
The lack thereof, places, things to do, persons now wanting...
outside.
Yeah, persons now wanting to showcase what they've been sitting on for just short of 2 years. It was not easy, and it is not easy as an artist, a creative mind, to just sit there and do anything whatsoever. So they got old. And we asked of them to bring that level up a notch, and they did so. Honestly, this has been the best Soca season I've had since Take the Oath. Yeah, but trust me, the guys themselves are happy with the production of the music this year. So that's a A+.
The people them fed up and stressed out. They wanna play mass. We real mass all day, all month, all year. But still you take the mass out of Sugar Mass. We had CPL in a bubble. We could get Carnival in a bubble. we. So whether we sing inside or outside, we gonna mash up the place, alright. Jumping up in the streets with all of me family, all of me friends. Putting every single back until we jump until we weekend.
Riveting performances. Your thoughts?
Yes.
Can't find the words.
I'll just say that I enjoyed the night of performances. The artists, as you can see, went way out of the box there with presentation. We had Mitchell coming up with that Night in the Museum, Sugar Mass Museum. That was the concept behind that. So it kind of caught my attention pretty early. This is creative. And then you have Mr. Hyde with the bubble effect, as you can see those bubble items there. And the whole Parliament vibes, just how everything started. The whole carnival started in cabinet. I like to say that because they had to make certain decisions just to make sure that both sides get be safe.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, it looks like lots of fun, and I must say that for a few years, I've thought that, our Soca Monarch has been on this international level. Like, I feel like our soca artists could compete regionally, and I think they have. I think Nicho traveled before, and I mean, you could see it in his performances. It's always amazing. I know for pageantry, there's a lot of behind the scenes practice and work. Does the committee offer that kind of assistance? I don't know, any kind of coaching to performers?
Well, this year we introduced what we call a workshop. Soca and Calypso, introduced that workshop for them. We had persons like Congress Maynard and Val Henry. To speak on both aspects. We have the interview aspect because persons tend to focus on one side, the performance side, but when they reach into interview, they can't express themselves. So we had covered each side of the market, so to speak, for the artists, and they took notes. They really took notes because some of the things that Conway spoke about when it comes to performing, we see it playing out on the stage in terms of position with certain parts of the song. Where do you want yourself? Who do you want the camera to focus on in this particular song, this particular part of the song? And they put some work into that. Some of them even asked for the clip, the tape, the recording to go back over some of the tips and everything like that, producing the music to get the max score on the criteria. So they really took notes of that, and somehow they turned it into magic there on the stage. Trust me, if you are watching just without hearing anything, you'll be like, yo, this standard has risen again on an international level. And I'm sure soon, once we keep up this work, and of course evolve, change up some of the behind the scene things, we would be able to maximize on presentation again. And when we asked about the help of the committee behind the scenes, the committee would have upped what we call the preparation money. It's a little bit for Soca Monarch, but it's more than what they got. They got 2,000 this year, plus they got assistance with the pyrotechnics, BG fireworks. So they didn't have to cover that. Okay,
because that's very expensive.
Very expensive. They didn't have to cover that cost. So a cost that would probably carry them to $4,000. They probably only have to pay $1,000. Right. So that was a big help. We had now Rebora team coming in and assisting with them with the conceptualizing and choreography and everything with dances and everything. So that in itself was good. I think that kind of brought the level of presentation up a lot. And I won't say a bit, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, full-scale production.
Yes.
And the results show it.
Correct.
Speaking of results, the points. Groovy segment, very close.
Yes, the groovy segment was very close. I try my best not to go into the politics of the judging scores because they're final and I'm on the side of the judges. So it was pretty close for what the judges saw and heard on the night. I'm like, all right, So groovy, but in power, the points different was far, like 20, 20 plus, and then the next one, second to third, was near 17 or something like that. So it was a bit further away from each other, different to the groovy segment. If I were judging, I probably would have done the same.
Fair enough.